Hello and welcome to the first of many series we're going to be doing on Revit MEP 2013, and we're going to break it up into small little groups of lessons so we can kind of move along at a nice pace. I'm just in a file in here. I am using Windows 7 and Revit 2013 one box. So this software I'm using has architecture, structure, and MEP all built in. And the first thing I want to point out is there's a couple of almost prerequisites if you can. And if we go over here to the CAD Clips web page, I just want to mention a couple other series. If you go to our new releases here, or if you just pick Revit CAD Clips over here, there's a series in here called Options, Project Templates, and View Templates. So I highly encourage you to go in and have a look at this particular video series. It talks a little bit about project templates and stuff, which is the main thing in the options dialog box, stuff like that. So I don't really want to repeat that because we just did that. And this is very generic to all aspects of or disciplines of Revit. And that's one of the first things I should point out is Revit software between the different disciplines is very much the same. Someone who is really good at using one discipline of the software can very easily transfer over to a different discipline other than the fact that they lose their expertise on that particular content. However, the way you use the software is very much the same. So have a look in there. There's also another series in here. I mean, anything you can watch here is always beneficial. And we do have some Revit MEP 2012 lessons in here that are a little bit older, but still very valuable. And some of this stuff I'm going to be repeating, and some of this I encourage you to go in here and have a look at this. So I would call this another kind of prerequisite for this particular series. Even though it is 2012, there's not a whole lot of difference, and we will be pointing out the some of the new features. So have a look at those videos along with what we're going to be doing here. So right now I'm just in a file here, and the reason why you're seeing color here is because there's view filters built in. If I type VV on the keyboard and you go to filters, you can see I've said that exhaust and supply return. I've color coded that, so that's just why that is. So I want to mention something else. The files we'll be using, this is a standard file that comes with Revit as it installs, and I want to talk a little bit about that and how you would go in and save them and put them in a different place. So I like to use the kind of the stock file simply because everyone gets it when you install the software rather than trying to constantly distribute data sets and stuff like that. Some of the stuff we'll be doing just from scratch, so that'll be different as well. So just on another point, if we go to our Windows Explorer, by default the sample files for Revit are installed here. So under C, Program Files, Autodesk, Revit 2013, Program Samples, and that's the folder I'm in, and you'll see that if you sort by type here, you've got the, I'm not sure if this one looks funny, I'm not sure if that comes with it, but definitely all these files, including this guy in here, which gets linked around the Arch link model. So notice there's RVT files, and then there's RFA files. So RFA are family files, they're kind of like AutoCAD blocks, and RVT are project files, more like a DWG or a DGN file. And so these are the sample files that come installed. So the first thing I'm going to do to retain these is do a shift click and grab all these, right click and say copy, and then I have a folder here on my C drive called My Revit 2013 Sample Files. I'm going to right click over here and paste these in here. Boom. And now I've got those files in here, and I can always go back to the originals and leave them the way they were, because we're going to go in and play around with these, and then you can make copies from here. So we want to do that to get started. And that's all good. So now I can just go back to my Revit file. All I'm going to do is close this. So this is actually one of the files, and you can see the name is up here, RME Advanced Sample Project. This just happens to be a 3D view that's being clipped. And I've also got some objects turned off and some view filters. So I've done a little bit of setup on here just so we had some color and stuff to look at. So I'm just going to take this and hit close. When you hit the close button here, it only closes the project you're in. It doesn't close Revit. It just kind of closes. Do you want to save changes? No, I do not want to save my changes. And now it shows you what is kind of the Revit desktop, which is also called the recent files window. So you'll notice over here there's some project template file, or sorry, yes, these are template files. These are your last recent files. So I wish they would provide more here, but this is your recent files listing. These are your recent families that you've worked on, and these are when you use open and new and to create new stuff. So this is creating new and opening, same as this over here. And by default, this creates a new file with a mechanical template, creates a new file with a construction template, creates a new file with an architectural template. Okay, so the template stuff, as I said earlier, is all built into that other series. So I encourage you to go in and have a look at that, and that'll explain why this stuff is set up the way it is. This is our application pull down, where we can also go in and hit new, and there's flyouts in here as well. And you'll notice there's a difference between, whether you click here or here. Okay, save as, export. We'll talk about this over here. You'll also notice that when you pick on here, sometimes you'll notice down here there's the options button, and you can go in and have a look at that, again covered in our previous series. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just open a file and set up that new folder as a favorite. Watch, I'm going to hit open here, and then I'm going to go to my C drive, and then I'm going to go to my Revit sample files. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to say tools and say add this folder I'm in to my places, and watch what happens. Click, adds it up onto this list. So now I can click on here anytime I want. If I just hit cancel right in here, it's going to ask me if I want to save this as a favorite over here. And if you say no, it'll get rid of it, and if you say yes. But if you do actually open a file, let's go to my RME Advanced Sample Project. There it is again. Okay, and I hit open, it's automatically going to retain that folder there. So now I'm opening the file I was just in, except for I didn't save my changes, which I did by color coding and turning the floor object off. So that's just a little bit of a kind of a warmer-upper setup, some prerequisites. Again, I encourage everyone whenever I create these videos is to watch as many videos as you can, because sometimes there's some really good information in the architectural or the electrical or the MEP section, and don't only watch the videos that are in your particular discipline. There's a lot of videos that are listed over here in our page here. If you go to Revit CAD clips, if you look on the left hand side here, there's no reason why you can't go in and watch some of this stuff inside of here that's talking about Revit structure, even though you are an MEP user, and vice versa. There's a lot of really good stuff in the architectural stuff that's very, project browser that works for both structure, MEP, and architecture, same as this. Okay, so don't just watch the videos that happen to be listed on your discipline inside of here. There's all kinds of other videos and other disciplines that you can go in and watch, and you can also do a search inside of here. If you want to search for, duct, you do a search, and it's going to go through and it's going to find, the videos on, duct. Okay. You can also go in and type in let's say VAV. No, that might not be in there. Let's try something like elect. Just elect. Oh, sorry, reset. I didn't want reset. ELECT, and search. And it's going to find videos that are specific to, electrical or something like that. So use the search tool. And that was back on here, right inside of here. And of course, we've always got lots of free CAD clips over here that you can go in and watch anytime. So these are all kinds of different free CAD clips that play right here in the right on screen. So that's a little intro, and we'll be coming back with many more Revit MEP videos, and we'll have you being the master of MEP and BIM by the time I'm through with you.